Hello, hello. Welcome to Words Have Power Murder Hour. I'm Shelly. Um, Pretty sure we have some people who are coming on. Not sure. Okay. Hey, welcome to Words Have Power Murder Hour. Um, if you're here, say hi. Tell me if you can hear me. Still pretty new at all this. Let's see. Alrighty. Might take people a minute to get in here. I have no idea if the sound is working, so I'm trying to check and see and make sure it is. Okay, so there's a lot that's gone on. And it's been a weird day. Today's my birthday, actually. And it's been weird. I was gonna do a video, and I'm probably going to do that video, but I debated on it because there was a documentary dropped about the subject, and it's been controversial. But this person should be talked about, and I have not seen the documentary. Um, I might just do that right now and talk about it now. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's kind of a sticky situation. On the one hand, I always want to be respectful of victims. Um, that's just always how I'm going to do things. On the other hand, I kind of these things need to be talked about. So grooming and things like that, domestic violence, all of that has to be talked about. And I want to talk about them in a way that is entertaining and interesting so that hopefully people will watch the videos and while they're being entertained, learn something. So it's just kind of a weird. It's weird when you're working on a video and you've researched it and spent all this time diving into it and learning about it, and then yeah, and then you're like, I don't want to like hurt anybody. That's not the point of what I'm doing at all. So yeah. Anyone want to say anything? There are two people. So I'm trying to get my laptop to work, and for some reason the arrow isn't coming up, so I can't like access anything. It's really weird. There's always a will, there's always a way. Anyone want to say anything? Hello? I'm having a hard time accessing this file, which kind of is irritating. Let's see if I can do this. Maybe. Hello? Okay, so in these episodes, I'm talking about different aspects of domestic violence. What has happened with my computer? There must have been an update that I was not aware of. Really frustrating. Shoot. All right, so usually domestic violence happens kind of slow. It's a progression and it happens over time, right? But not always. Sometimes it happens really, really quick. And it isn't even domestic violence. So this laptop is not the best laptop on the face of the planet. Okay. I have a file for this, but yet again, this computer has a mind of its own, and I can't do it how I was going to do it. So I have to, on this live stream at the moment, I'm going to talk about a case that I'm actually working on a video for. There's a woman named Brittany Smith. She was in the state of Alabama. From everything that I've read, she's a very nice person, and she offered to help someone and give this person a place to sleep during a cold winter night when he needed it. He, in turn, brutalized her and held her against her will. Now, we're not going into too much of what is done to a victim, because the point here is not to trigger people. And it's also not, not to glorify the violence. But it was horrible what he did to her. She was not dating him. She actually told him that she was not interested in dating him. She just offered him a place to sleep on a cold winter's night. What she didn't know was that he'd been kicked out of his father's house because he got violent with his father. And if I remember correctly, the cops were called. So he needed a place to stay. And she didn't know this. She didn't know also that his entire neighborhood was terrified of him because of how violent he would get. Long history of violence, long criminal record. This guy was not a nice guy at all, and that is documented. So, I have a file, but I cannot get to it at the moment, and that really sucks. Okay. He brutalized her. He did horrible things to her. SA, it was bad. Later on, her brother is involved, and he realized he. I'm gonna do a more in-depth video on this, but for right now, I'm going short on it. Later on, her brother finds out what's going on, and scumbag. Let me get this guy's name. Do do do. Her brother finds out what's going on, and he's trying to help her, because this guy Todd Smith was threatening to kill her, and he wasn't playing around. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I do apologize for all y'all watching. Um, okay, so Todd Smith, he lived in Jasper, Tennessee, but so Tennessee and Alabama are right there close to each other, right? So her brother comes to try to help her and basically rescue her from this guy. And the guy starts attacking her brother. So he's attacked her. He's attacked this guy. He's also, prior to that, attacked his father. He has, on multiple occasions, attacked significant others. I'm going to get more into that in the video. He's just done a lot of brutalization of people. A lot of that has gone on. And he has a clear criminal record, a background of doing horrifying things to people. Eventually, Brittany gets a hold of a gun, warns him multiple times to stop, shoots and kills him. He dies. My question is, do we as women have a right to defend ourselves when our lives are at risk, and also the lives of a loved one? Or are we not allowed to defend ourselves? If I'm not mistaken, Alabama has a stand your ground law. I can't access my file, so unfortunately, I'll get that fixed at some point. But prosecutors are going after this woman. They're trying to get her for. Hold on one second. It's on here. There's a really good article in the New Yorker, and the title of it is "How Far Can Abused Women Go to Protect Themselves?" Fighting back against rapists, abusers, and abusers is a valid legal defense, but women with persuasive self-defense claims continue to be charged with murder. And that's what's happening to this woman. There was clear evidence, physical evidence, of what he did to her. It just does not make sense to me. It blows my mind. Are we just going to, as a culture, continue to protect obvious criminals with a string of victims behind them, like a long trail of people who have been harmed horribly, we're just gonna let them go right on ahead and do whatever they want? Is that what we've decided as a culture? What is Alabama doing? Why is Alabama? Hmm, why is this prosecutor saying that he thought there would be more? I'm paraphrasing. I don't have my file right here, but saying that he thought there would be more evidence of bodily harm to her on her. When you have nurses that are saying, yes, yes, she had a lot of injuries and whatnot, then, and then questioning her, are you sure you weren't in a relationship with him? Uh, Even if you're in a relationship with someone, that doesn't mean that person has the right to beat the shit out of someone. Domestic violence is not okay, but apparently in the state of Alabama, it is okay. Certainly looks like that, especially if you're a white male, if you're a white man, apparently you can go ahead and do whatever the hell you want. Because looking at this case, uh, just kind of opened the floodgates. So there are a bunch of other cases that I'm going to be talking about as well, dealing with the state of Alabama. Because apparently in Alabama, if you're a woman and a white man attacks you, you're screwed. If you're a minority and a white man attacks you, you're probably screwed as well. Um, wow, way to go, Alabama. Um, and as I'm reading all this material and doing all this research, I keep thinking, sweet home Alabama, my ass. Like, what? For who? For who? So Alabama doesn't protect their women? Wow, that's saying a lot, Alabama. This woman was pulling herself up by her bootstraps. And this guy who has a proven history and record of violence is given a pass. And someone finally stood up to him, kept himself safe, and is what, going to be punished for that? Really? Why does it just feel like all of these scumbags are running around doing whatever the hell they want? You've got Doggy Vanity, you've got this weird ass creepy dude Onision. What in the hell is up with that? You got people defending them. Why would anyone defend this dude Onision? It's, if you watch his videos, he has multiple platforms to defend himself, and he does it all the time. All he does is talk about himself and how everybody else is victimized him. Oh, poor woe is me. Meanwhile, there are videos out there of what he has done to some of his victims. Like he has documented brutalizing women, oh God, defeminization of a woman is abuse. It is. Just as the emasculation of a man is abuse. But there is no equivalent word. Defeminization doesn't really have the same meaning or connotation as emasculation. There's no, isn't that interesting that our culture doesn't think that women are important enough to have a word that is really the equivalent of the word emasculation? That's interesting to me. So I'm going to be rambling for a little bit because I have a lot of stuff in my head from everything that I'm researching. So these people that are defending Onision and saying, well, he needs a platform to be able to defend himself. He has platforms to defend himself with himself. He does it all the time, apparently. Why does he also need your platform? He does interviews with people where he isn't actually interviewed. He just steamrolls over the so-called interviewer. Oh, Lord. Davi Vanity. Davi Vanity. I should have really just named this Warning to Davi Vanity, really, is what I should have named this. So I received a message from Davi Vanity. Well, one of his stands, probably. I don't know. I'm not sure who it was actually from. But I received a message. I'm not even remotely in the least at all scared or worried or concerned, even a little bit, about what Davi Vanity thinks or his fans. His fans are fans right now, but many of them are going to grow out of that. So, many of them already have. I'm not worried. I'm not scared. No, and I won't be. But what I will be doing, if needs to be, is I will start a case. And once I have enough material, I will present that case to law enforcement. And a lawyer, maybe. That's what will happen. There you go. I ain't worried about it. Y'all are quiet today. Damn. I know there's a lot going on the internet right now, on YouTubes and all of that, but Lord. So there's a documentary out about Onision right now. I have not seen it. I'm debating on whether I would go watch it because I don't know. I feel like if the victims weren't happy with it and how that all came about, and I have some serious reservations about Chris Hansen now. Like, his reputation is pretty much ruined with me. I mean, there was like questions about Chris Hansen a while ago, so this isn't a big new thing. Among law enforcement, he didn't have the best reputation. And I heard about that pre-Katrina, so that was a while ago. This is not a new thing. But the way that he interviews survivors, I don't agree with. I don't agree with interrupting them as they're speaking and then asking them questions that are just, why? You're not interviewing, you're not on the show that you used to be on. You're not talking to possible pedos. You're talking to survivors. There's a difference. There has to be a different technique, I would think, to talking with survivors than how you talk with pedos. I'm just saying. I don't know. And then to use that material to, when you didn't tell the victims that up front, that, hey, I'm going to try to use this material to sell a documentary or something, that's really sketchy. That is underhanded. and kind of disgusting to me. I hope he made that money. I hope he enjoys that money because I won't be watching any of his material anymore. And I do research on stuff like this all the time, but yeah, I will go elsewhere. That's to me, that's not investigative journalism. That is opportunistic vulturism. That's just me. I don't know. But there are a lot of people like that running around right now, like KJ. Dude. A lot of people like to throw around words like investigative journalist, but Chris Hansen wasn't an investigative journalist, really. He was the host on a TV show, and he had a team of people who, um, did the research and all of that, right? He was the host. It's not the same thing as being an investigative journalist. You got KJ saying she's an investigative journalist when she doesn't have a clue what that means. So yeah, I said that. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I didn't stutter. I said it. Hey, Theater Bab, what's up? You missed a whole big chunk. I went on a rant a little bit. Just a little bit. Kind of irritated. I'm irritated with the state of Alabama right now. Like not the whole state. There are good people in Alabama, and I know that. But law enforcement, come on, y'all. Prosecutors, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just as a correctional officer, when I was reading that article, I was like, that is just malfeasance. That is charge after charge against the COs, against the correctional officers. Catch your late breakfast. What time is it in Florida? What? There isn't that much of a time difference. I know there isn't. Wait a minute. You woke up at like, what, 4:30 then? Yes, I know. Oh boy. So the videos that I'm gonna have coming up, I don't know. Should I do the Onision video? Because it's just this documentary thing that dropped. I'm not trying to be opportunistic. I've been working on researching this for I don't know how long now. Like, I don't know. I was supposed to start, I was supposed to record the video today, and I was like, meh, what do I do? I think I'll just do it. Make it a birthday present for myself. The glossy crack again. Just saying. Oh, boy. It is hard, like getting an audience up on this platform. It was easier on MySpace. Granted, I've only been doing this for a little while, but so if KJ's on here, go fuck yourself. Yes, I said it. No, I'm not sorry. Oh, and you don't like it when people smoke? There's another gauntlet for you. I hate it when people plagiarize. I hate it when people like parrot back what other people are saying. They're not like, hey, I, saw this here or there or whatever. Fucking hate people like that. It's really irritating. And it's weird and creepy. Just saying. So what are you up to now, Theater Fam? Really, I'm just here to socialize for a minute. Ow. right, so I think that in my venting here, I have decided that I will actually do that video, um, because this guy is highly manipulative. He is having smoke, ate dinner. I thought you said you ate breakfast. Now, because when you said breakfast, then all of a sudden I wanted breakfast. So you can't be like dangling the breakfast carrot in front of me. That's not right. Um, right. So this Onision guy, Lord have mercy, and lady, tomato. Yeah. Well. Oh boy. I'm of the opinion that grooming, and especially if it's anything to do with a minor, all that should be illegal. It should be a criminal charge, federal. Um, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You're screwed. You're going to prison. Like, period. Point blank. I mean, I don't understand why we have so much mercy for people like that. Like, the more I look into this Onision guy, the more disgusted I am. And like, bleh. I challenge this guy to go work like a regular job somewhere, a brick and mortar job for 1 year. I don't think you could make it. It'd be funny to watch though. Apparently, all women are just bitches and hoes and, whatever. Sad. Sad, pathetic little man. Well, wannabe man, because mentally he's about the age of, I would say, a 13-year-old. So it's I don't know. I had something else I was gonna do, but my laptop is being really weird. The like arrow isn't coming up, so that kind of blew my plans. Hello, wake up, laptop. Oh, wait, do that maybe. This laptop is basically the equivalent of like a paperweight for Microsoft Word, is what it is. That's what's going on. Okay, so with the videos that I have coming up, I have to talk about verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and how those things tie in and are used in conjunction with data mining and gaslighting. So if you know anything about Onision, if you've seen the videos he recorded and posted and put out there of what he did to Shiloh, that her response, her emotional like responses and crying and breaking down and all of that, those videos I would bet money that those videos came about after hours and possibly days of him verbally, emotionally, psychologically antagonizing and brutalizing her. So what you're seeing is the effect of abuse on a victim. It's not funny. Especially the one video, people were saying, oh, well, I think it was just made up. It's just scripted, da da da. Like, those are things that some of the best actresses I've ever seen can't really capture like how it actually is. So so there's a reason that abusers will data mine and find out the things that will hurt that person, that targeted person, right? And then use those things against them. And that's the whole grooming process and data mining and love bombing and all of that. It's all a carrot. It's all information for how to abuse and hurt that person. And then the love bombing is the carrot to dangle in front of them to keep them there, right? And it just all goes together, and it should be obvious to anyone with half a brain what this Onision guy does. And there's a pattern of it. It's not just one or two victims, it's multiple people who have experienced this from him. And the forced defeminization, oh, good Lord. I mean, my love bombs are sincere, not bait to abuse people. Well, not with like, with Davi Vanity, with Onision, and there are so many others. I can't wait to get these videos done and just done. And I don't have to research it anymore. That'd be great. No more stress headaches. Wonderful. I say that and then I realize there will be more stress headaches. That's just, eh. I'm still trying to get this mouse to work. Mm. Hello, where are you? What is happening? Mouse. Mouse. Yes, I need the mouse. Wait. I don't know why my mouse stopped working, but it did. Because this laptop just has a mind of its own. Arrow. Wait, it was arrow. I don't. Ugh. Can you point out? Hold on. Can I do this? No. Can you point out the difference between an abuser's style of bombing versus someone who is sincere and pursuing on a seriously attentive level? It depends on the person, the abuser, or the person who's not abusive. It really depends. Like, so typically with an abuser, you're going to have red flags that come up. Like your gut instinct is going to be like, hey, there's something not quite right, right? That's why I say pay attention to your gut instinct. Pay attention to those red flags. Don't brush them under the rug. Don't make justifications for the person. Take those red flags and your gut instinct as that's the real them and go from there, right? Um, and it's hard. It's hard to know if really it probably isn't a good idea to love bomb because so many people are aware of that tactic used by abusers. Um, so that it just gives the whole idea just kind of a bad reaction for most people. Now, thankfully, more people are becoming aware of these things. I made an episode about it. Love bombing is, you see a lot of cults will do this. I've seen businesses do this actually. It's really creepy when a business is doing that, love bombing someone. don't even make sense. A lot of MLMs will do this as well. Um, it's where the targeted person is sent just a ridiculous amount of affectionate attention, but it's to a point that is, um, I've had victims tell me that it was like, is this for real? And if you ask yourself that question, if you ask yourself, is this for real? Or this is too good to be true, or those are red flags. That's your brain and your body is saying, maybe this isn't real. Like it's, hmm, the same thing that I would say about a cult. If a cult is telling you they have all the answers to the known universe and they can answer every question and they can, make your whole life right, like Scientology does this, other cults will do this. Yes, Scientology is a cult by definition. I mean, if you read up on it, just saying. Um, there's nothing wrong with being in a relationship or like a new relationship where you have that swept off your feet feeling. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that's wrong. Inherently, there's nothing wrong with love bombing, maybe, but these are tactics that abusers will use. They will utilize them as a means of pulling a person into them emotionally. And then that love bombing becomes a carrot. So then when the abuse happens, they're taking that loving, all that loving attention away, right? But that person wants that loving attention back. So then that love bombing, all that loving attention becomes a weapon against them. So, and I've even seen it to where it was just like emotional abuse that was happening or verbal abuse that was happening. And it's all chemicals in the brain, really, right? So when you're getting an overwhelming amount of love and attention and all this and that, serotonin and all the chemicals release from your brain into your body and becomes a drug that you become addicted to. The extreme flattery to get past their instincts. Yeah, well, yeah, yep, yes. There was one victim I worked with who, man, it was ridiculous what that guy did. Um, and she had some red flags, and her gut instinct did tell her, hey, something's not quite right. But he was just so nice and he was just so loving and he was just so always there for her and just so, but it was over the top. There's a way that new relationships happen that's very kind of flowing. It just flows and everything's just kind of calm, I guess. And it just happens organically. Love bombing is more of a forced, it's very forceful in a way, I would say. I've been love bombed by a few people, and only one actually managed to like get anywhere with me. But it's all about the timing. With a lot of victims, it's all about the timing. If a person has something really traumatic happen and then the person comes in, or the cult, or the MLM, or whatever, um, that's when that person is most vulnerable, and that is what a lot of abusers wait for. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that friend that you were talking about, who had the stalker slash boyfriend, whatever, I wouldn't be surprised if she was love bombed. Wouldn't be surprised at all. And that's the carrot. The abuse is the stick. So, I don't know. But the more people who are aware of all this, the better. The fewer people there are to defend abusers, the better. I'm really disgusted by people defending this Onision guy and saying, but he should be able to defend himself. That's all this idiot does. She most certainly was. We saw it and warned her. I mean, it's easy to see from the outside looking in. It is not easy to see from the inside looking at the situation. When you're in the situation, it is extremely hard to see. When you're outside the situation, and that's why, in a lot of the videos I do, I'm like, I think with Love Bombing and a couple others, I'm like, you need to listen to your friends, to your family, to, I don't know, neighbors, whatever. Listen to the rumors and the gossip. Think about it. Do a criminal background check. It is not hard to do. It is so easy to do now. Now you can get online and unless a person has scrubbed themselves off the internet, but even then, some things don't scrub off the internet. If a person is on, what was it, the National Criminal Database, I forget the name of it now, registered sex offenders list, if they're on there, ask them why. And if they say, oh, I just, peed on a tree, I want to see documentation. I want to see the court records. I want to see something that says that is what it is actually what happened. All right. Like if I were dating someone and they did a criminal background check on me, I wouldn't have any problem with that. And if they had a question, I would answer it. I have nothing to hide though. But a lot of abusers do have a lot to hide. A lot of the time, they have domestic violence charges or who knows what. It is better to err on the side of caution. It is better to ask questions. It is better to hold off on your emotional response to people until you know them. Until you've looked into their past and see, like with the one I was talking about at the very beginning, Brittany Smith, I think her name was. Wait, I might be mixing up names. Let me make sure. Yeah, Brittany Smith. Man, where she went through, and she was just being nice and offered someone a place to sleep on her couch. But then law enforcement and all that, they assume that because he was sleeping there on her couch, she must have been in a relationship with him. She turned him down. She rejected him. And more than likely, because of her rejection, dear woman, you shouldn't be rejecting a man. I guess that's what Alabama thinks. The prosecutor thinks. I don't know how many people I have allowed to sleep on my couch, or I've helped, because that's what most people do. Most people are nice and they offer to help people. And it's just too easy for scumbags to take advantage of that. And Brittany Smith is possibly facing a murder charge because she defended herself and her brother, and that is sad, and that ticks me off to no end. So that video, I have to warn y'all right now, that video probably will have some cussing going on because that makes me angry, so angry, what she went through. And we have the right to defend ourselves. If I offer for someone to sleep on my couch and it's strictly platonic and they try to do something to me, damn straight I'm going to protect myself and my child and Marcus and whoever else is here. I'm not going to sit there and take that shit. Why should women be expected to take abuse like this? What? This Onision guy, what he's doing to women right now is abhorrent. I know he likes to think he's the smartest guy in the known universe, but he might need a thesaurus and a dictionary when I make my video. I'm just saying. I mean, wow. Anyone who like a life goal is to start a cult might be questionable. I don't know. Oh, call me funny, but I'm thinking that maybe. Jesus. Weird. YouTube is definitely a weird space. I'm telling you, this lip gloss is like crack. I'm assuming. Stuff is good. It's all glittery. All right, well, I'm probably going to get off here in a minute. I will probably be recording a bunch of videos tomorrow. I didn't want to do them today because today is my birthday. I'm going to do them tomorrow. Then we have to edit them and we'll get them posted. Pretty sure I have a bunch of people texting me happy birthday. Oh wait, there are 4 people on here. Whoa. Have I had 4 people on here before? Say hi, y'all. Say what's up. Been sitting here talking with the theater vamp for a while. I'm talking his ear off, really, basically, is what's going on. Oh boy. Don B. I don't think I've seen you on here before. Thank you for the happy birthday. A recent sub. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. That's a nice birthday present. Yeah, I have. Lord. If I can finagle it, I'm probably going to end up recording like 6 videos tomorrow. Because I have been researching hard, but my laptop, it's like my laptop might be going sentient, and sometimes it's like, no, you can't have the arrow. You can't. No. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. I hope this channel monetizes soon so I can get a better laptop. Is what's going on. That's what needs to happen so I can like actually do my research and have access to my damn files. Like it's pains me. Like I literally can't do any more research tonight. Maybe it's the universe's way of telling me to just chill on my birthday. Could be. Anything you want to talk about, Dawn B? B with a star. Oh my god, there are 5 people here. What? Wow. Don't be shy. You can say hi. I won't bite too hard or without your consent. That's another thing. Okay. I'm in the UK. Wait, you're in the UK? I'm in the UK. I visited the UK years ago and I did not get to spend enough time there. And I did not get to go to Scotland. And I'm still unhappy about that. Gaming for life. I found you through Reddit. Glad to catch a live. See, is that Reddit that posted one of my videos? That was really sweet of them. I have to figure out how to say thank you to them. Northumberland, it's on the border of Scotland. Oh, you lucky person. Okay, I would be all over the place. There's so much history there. It hurts. Like castles and I just want to dig in the dirt and see if I find something. Because if you throw a stone, there's something near you. crazy. Yeah, I was only in, I want to say I was only in England for like, we were all over Europe. And I think I was in England for like a day. And then we went to London. A day is not long enough. Just for anyone out there, if you're going to go to like Europe and you're going to go to England or London, one day is not long enough. Okay? Just letting you know that. It's way too much to see and do. Um, so we basically like drove through and I like waved at all of the places I wanted to stop and see and touch and be like, oh my God, that's so old. Scotland, I almost cried when I was like, I won't get to go to Scotland. I'm part Scottish. What? That's not even right. Someday. Neolithic rock art. Oh, God, that I'm starting to drool. Well, I want to go see the Neolithic rock art. I love history. I, God, that hurts. That hurts. I was so close. Eh. Roman ruins and like stuff and like museums and just that hurts my soul. I really wanted to go to Stirling, Stirling Castle, like Roslin Chapel. Like I have a list a mile long of places that I want to visit, just all over Europe, Greece, Malta, everywhere, pretty much. So yeah, maybe someday in my life. You have a Roman road through your village. I think it's part of the reason I live in New Orleans because there are streets here that are to the old like cobblestone and whatnot. And I was like, if I'm gonna live in America, where can I live where there's like actual old real history, where it isn't so cold that I feel like my hair is gonna break off. I can't stand being cold. Eh, don't be sorry. I kind of sort of wish that I'd moved to Europe back in the day, but because America's kind of weird. I need all the suggestions. Really, I used to have a map with all of the places I wanted to go to, like marked, and it was just riddled. Like I was like, okay, so basically, I'll fly over there and throw a stone and see where I go first. Yeah, yeah. I mean, with the weirdness that is like the continuation of 2020. Um, yeah, we just have to like save up and plot things out. Just about freezing. Yeah, yeah, but that for me, the history would be worth it. Although I would probably bitch the whole way. Um, Jesus. See, here in America, you have places that have a lot of history in the cold areas, like Boston, places like that. But like to me, I don't know. 59 degrees here. That's I don't even know how it is here. It's not too cold here. But like here, there is so much history in New Orleans. So many little like spots where there are neat little like especially in the quarter, there are certain like spots where if you go down this alley and then make a turn and then there's this like amazing courtyard, you know, with like a fountain from 200 years ago or something like I don't know. New Orleans is pretty amazing. Also, pretty friggin' weird. I don't mind the weird, like a certain kind of weird. There are other kinds of weird, not so much. But some interesting things happen here. Like back in the day, I would just go walk about, and you just never know what you would run into. You might run into like an actual voodoo zombie wedding. People dressed up like zombies and voodoo ritual and all that. That was amazing. Um, yeah, it's there's so much over in Europe. We were in France for like a week. So we were in Paris and then we went out like to southern France, which I wanted to go to. I think it was what was it? Northwestern France was an area I wanted to go to. But I mean, it was kind of a mad dash across Europe and we just stayed here and there in different places. So it wasn't really enough time to visit everywhere that I wanted to go. But thankfully, I did get to visit Rennes le Chateau before it became a huge tourist trap. So go me. Um, excuse me. Yeah, in England, like, oh Lord, there's just so many places off the top of my head that would be really cool to visit. Uh, in Scotland, don't even get me started. The Highlands, all of that, just everywhere, just all of it. Everywhere. I would need like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years maybe. And yeah, and then here on this continent, like someday I have to make it to Peru. I have to make it to just, Lord, like the Serpent Mound. I have not visited there yet. Um, there's an actual temple to Athena here. What is it? The Parthenon? Is that what that's called? I don't remember. I think I want to say that's in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. But I can tell you where I'm not going. I am not going to Alabama. I will be staying the hell away from Alabama for the foreseeable future until they get their minds right and realize that women have the right to defend ourselves and be treated with respect. That's this video coming up is there are two that are really bothering me. The Onision video and then the Britney Smith video. That's just they're gonna be rough for me to do. Especially watching the one victim, and I don't have my file. Her name was Shiloh. Uh, God, that was rough. I mean, I'm worried for. Yeah, I hear you. I agree. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that people will come back to their senses. I mean, I know, yeah, she went through, man. I mean, from the video I saw, there was just a tremendous amount of emotional, psychological trauma that happened to her, and you can't act that out. You can't make that up. That was brutal to watch, and he documented it himself. Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure. I've watched so much that I'm not sure if I've seen that one. I might have to go make sure that I watch that before I do this video. Was that the one where he was throwing like a candy corn or something at her? And he said that wasn't abuse? I mean, Pie fight. Well, pie would be nice compared to what he was doing. So, yeah. How is that not abuse? How is throwing, even if it's a small object, if you're throwing it hard at someone and hitting them in the face, that's fucking abuse. Jesus Christ. But in his mind, because he's so pathological, that's abuse. That. But he's stuck at the age of 13, and he doesn't take any real self accountability or self introspection or self reflection, or there's just no grasping the fact that he's actually a fucking asshole. That money, that what he did before he started recording was 1,000 times worse than what you saw. Like, there would be a tremendous amount of abuse that would lead up to her having the emotional breakdowns and all of that. And obviously, he did all that purposefully to record it, to post it, and use it to exploit her and make money off of her. And apparently, she was never paid. She never saw any of that money. So he made all this money off of victimizing her and publicly humiliating her. And he made all the money off of it. That's so there you got financial abuse, you got targeting, grooming with intent, okay? Grooming with intent. Then you've got data mining, love bombing, coercive control, just on and on. Like, if I were to print out a sheet of paper that goes down all of the different parts of abuse, I would check them all off with him. And that also goes for certain other things that I'm thinking about doing. Because he's just textbook. He's a textbook. It's all right there. He documents everything himself. And then he shares this stuff that he documents of the people who survive him and leave him. And he tries to turn that around to make them look bad, but really what he's doing is making himself look bad. Because he's an idiot. And he's pathological. And he can't see what he's doing. And like what he's actually really doing. Emotional abuse is still abuse. Psychological abuse is still abuse. Financial abuse is still abuse. You can sit there and say, well, I didn't hit her. Except, yes, he did, and it's documented. And there was physical violence, but a lot of the abuse that he perpetuates is not as much physical. And sometimes I think emotional and psychological trauma, not in all cases, because there are some cases out there that are just physically, I'm surprised these women survived, right? But a lot of the time, abusers won't do a lot of physical harm because they don't want to leave physical evidence that is easy to prove. Yes, see, there is abuse. So they'll do the abuse you can't see. And then turn around and call the victim crazy because they're having an emotional response to being abused. So that's that whole setting a victim up to fail. That's abuse too. So I could go on for days. Like, and this is why I've been having stress headaches, and this is why I've been doing live streams, because I need to vent and get it out before I actually do the actual videos. Because it's just so obvious. And when people give Onision, they're like, oh, Onision should be able to defend himself, and I'm going to give him a platform to do that, and I'm going to interview him and whatnot. He already does defend himself. He already has platforms to defend himself. He doesn't need some white knight coming up to save the day for him. I mean, he already tries to manipulate and coercively control as many people as he can through his platforms. This is not. And then people who will sit there and say, oh, he wasn't grooming them, he was mean to them. Grooming is not always nice. Being mean to a victim is also grooming. What he was doing to these underage minors was grooming. This is what I did for a living. I am an ex-sheriff's deputy who worked in DV court. You can go ask any victim's advocate what is grooming. They will tell you. Yeah. I mean, that's from what I saw. I'm going to read out your post because I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't pin it because I don't. Hold on, let me see if I can pin that because that's good. Hold on. I got it. Okay. The fact that he isolates his partners by making them sign a contract that they won't see their family is extra. That is fucking abuse. Anyone who tries to isolate their partner from their family and or friends is abusive. That is abuse. If you look it up, you'll see that what I'm saying is true. That was a good point. Gaming for life. I'm gonna be attacked by a kitty cat in a minute, probably. It's like a shark coming at me. So yes. Also, those contracts, from what I saw, were not actual legally binding contracts. They're bullshit. So for any of his victims out there, if you happen to see this, he cannot hold you legally responsible via those contracts. It's bullshit. Go watch Emily D. Baker and other lawyers. They will tell you about contracts and all that shit. You can look it up for yourself. The one contract I saw was bullshit. Yeah, my cat's sitting right there looking at me. She likes to chew on my ears and my chin, so I'm waiting. But yeah, if you're in an abusive relationship and your so-called significant other tries to force you to sign a contract and it's like something they taped up on their computer, and I think his ex-wife sued him over a fake contract and won. Yeah, well, that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was their divorce. And uh, an aspect of that was that she was basically forced to sign it under duress. So if, okay, I'm not a lawyer, but I am an ex-sheriff's deputy, and I learned a lot while I worked, and I do have degrees in law enforcement, and law comes into that to a degree. So if you are forced to sign a contract under duress and you can prove that you were under duress, then that contract typically becomes null and void, right? So if she was being abused by him, which looks like she was, and she wanted out of that relationship, and the only way he would let her out is if she signed that contract, and it wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Dawn B. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but yeah, if you, so the contract, it was purposefully slanted to give him everything and her nothing. And also, it was not witnessed, it wasn't notarized, it wasn't in legal jargon, there was nothing real or substantial about that. And the judge threw it out, which, right on, judge. That was the right thing to do. So yeah. Wow, there are 6 people here. Oh my god. That's a lot of people for me. I think that's the most I've had so far. Hi, how y'all doing? Yeah, so if you're in an abusive relationship, you have every right to visit your family and your friends. You have every right to you know, retain yourself. And if somebody tries to force you to shave your head, the right opinion. Hello, Leanne Ferguson. How you doing? The right opinion. I'll have to. I can't write it on my laptop right here, right now. On YouTube. Okay, right on. I'll look that up. I might look that up after this live stream is over. Man, I'm getting some really good um, advice on like documentaries and stuff to watch. Because I mean, there's so much on YouTube. You know, he's a British guy. Who's a British guy? Excuse me, I had my. I need to dust the house. Like today, probably. Otherwise, my nose will decide it hates me. If you're interested, there's a documentary by The Right Opinion. He's okay. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. There's so much about Onision that it's just ridiculous. And I've actually decided that I'm not ever going to watch Chris Hansen's material anymore because I don't agree with, I question the ethics and the morals involved with how he treated the survivors, the Onision survivors, with this documentary thing. So I don't know. I might have to leave Chris Hansen alone now, which is sad. I mean, he had. I also don't like the way he interviews victims. Yeah, that ticked me off. The way he screwed up handling the evidence. That's unconscionable. Um, that's just not even right. I mean, let's say there was material on, what was it, a laptop and a cell phone or something. Let's say there was evidence on there that could have stood up in a court of law. To you, Chris Henson, thanks a lot, dude. You chose to hire that guy. He worked for you, and he had that evidence. And what did he do with it? What? I mean, are you really a white shining knight trying to like do some good, or are you just an opportunistic vulture looking for money? And I hope that money you earned with this documentary did you good, because I won't. The chances of me watching anything that he has to do with anymore are pretty slim. So I don't know. I don't know if I can bring myself to watch the documentary knowing how that all came out. Like I kind of, I've been fighting with myself over, is it appropriate or not? Like, is it, I don't know. But my ethics, I have to question my ethics and my morals on that one. So I can't bring myself to watch another rabbit hole mess. Oh, well, yeah, well, yeah. That could have been handled so much better, and they should have handled it far better. Like if he'd been straight up with the survivors up front from the beginning, and handled things better. Lord, yes. As I have found doing research for these videos, is like I was not prepared for Onision to be this big, huge thing. I was like, Jesus. I'm basically just trying to stick to the perspective I'm coming from is the abuse. And like, I got angry when someone said that what he was doing to his victims isn't grooming. And I was like, According to who? Uh, when did that? What? There was one guy who did an interview with Onision. I think his name was Keemstar. I could be totally wrong on that. But the guy was defending Onision and saying that he deserved a platform to defend himself, as if he doesn't have one, you know? And I think that guy was just out for the views and to make money as well. So, but he acted like he knows what grooming is, and obviously did not know what grooming is. Grooming is not always nice. Quite often it is very mean. It can be nice, it can start off nice and then turn mean and back and forth because it's the carrot and the stick. Davi Vanity was not always nice to his victims. So many others. Jeffrey Epstein, I can go down a long list. I don't know. So, thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate that. I have 6 people in here and I have 2 likes. Woo woo. Happy dance. It's my birthday. It's my birthday. 3 likes. Yay. Yeah, Marcus had to work today. So I was like, man, I need to socialize on my birthday. I'm just saying. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So, I was also going to say that over on Charlotte's channel, she has a video about a young woman who is missing. Her name is Colby. She was out in LA. Thank you. He made my window disappear. Right on. It's okay. So Colby disappeared in LA. She was down on Venice Beach. I've been to California many times, and Venice Beach is, every time I went to Venice Beach, it's just sketchy. I wonder why she was out there. What was going, like, I have so many questions, but for right now, my main question is, where is she? And I'm hoping that she gets home soon. So go over to Charlotte's channel. She did like a live stream about it. Check out that live stream. She's a beautiful young lady. I hope that she's okay. I hope she makes it home. I don't know. Starting to think that all of us women need to just start wearing like full on like body armor and maybe have a tank or something when we want to leave the house. Like, what? I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. That's part of the reason I'm going to do this video on Brittany Smith. Like, I cannot believe that she's facing murder charges for defending herself and her brother. It's a damn shame. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to do that. If you're a correctional officer, what? You're not supposed to treat victims that way. Oh, I should say right here, there's about Brittany Smith, there is an article in the New Yorker. I'm going to read the title of it. It's really good. It's How Far Can Abused Women Go to Protect Themselves? The rest of the subtitle is Fighting Back Against Rapists and Abusers is a Valid Legal Defense, but women with persuasive self-defense claims continue to be charged with murder. And that happened in Alabama. It's a woman, her name was Brittany Smith. She was kind, and she offered, where's his name? Hold on 1 second. She offered Todd Smith, not related, a place to sleep. And in return, she rejected him. She didn't want to be in a relationship with him. She was not interested. And in return, he attacked her, brutalized her horribly. If you read the article, it goes into that. It's a really good article. Oh my God, that is investigative journalism right there. For real. Um, so Todd Smith brutalized her, held her against her will for a while, and she was able to get word out that she needed help, and her brother came to help her. And Todd Smith, who had an extensive criminal background, just huge criminal record of violence against women and just people in general, but he attacked her more and then also attacked her brother and was probably trying to kill her brother. He threatened to kill her brother and her repeatedly. Um, and she defended them. She grabbed her brother's gun and shot Todd Smith, and he did die. And now Alabama is. Hold on, baby, I'll be right there. Alabama is going to they filed charges against her for murder. Um, hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll be right back. All right. In the same area, yeah. See, part of the reason that I'm bringing this up now is because I'm going to do the video about Brittany Smith, but in Alabama, um, there's a definite bias toward white men, and white men being able to go ahead and just do um, whatever. So, you know, but I noticed it goes deeper. There is way more. So there are going to be more cases about this area in particular. Um, the cases that I've seen brought against Black women who are defending themselves, Black men, just minorities in general, domestic violence in that area seems to be just whatever, it doesn't matter. So it's like they're stuck in the 60s or 70s with that. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, I'll be right back. Oh boy. Wow. So when the cat walks by baby girl, she gets mad because she wants the kitty to come play with her. So, that poor kitty. She's so patient with baby girl, and she's such a good cat, but she's like, no, just no. I don't feel like being squished right now. Yeah, they're cute. It's like the one cat will sit there on the dresser across from baby girl and taunt her. It's kind of what it feels like anyway. So yeah, so they're gonna. I probably gonna go through and make. It's probably gonna end up being 5 or 6 videos tomorrow, and then they have to be edited, and then they will be posted. But they're hard. They're hard. They're gonna be hard for me to make, but I will make them. And camera doesn't want to focus sometimes. Um, so yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of videos. I'm probably gonna try to live stream like once a day, just so I have like some semblance of socialization. Can she sue over this? Possibly, possibly. Like she, oh my God, there's so much wrong with this case in so many different ways. I mean, it is, as an ex-sheriff's deputy, I'm saying that this is obviously self-defense, you know? I mean, it is, but I stop and meditate and do yoga with baby girl and, take long hot showers and, self-care. When you're dealing with stuff like this, you have to do self-care. I mean, it's really the only way to get through it. But yeah, to me, this is obviously self-defense. She had every right to defend herself and her brother, who was incapacitated. He could not defend himself. Um, and this guy, I'm just going to say this for anyone out there: if you're in an abusive situation and your abuser is choking you, uh, that's bad. That means that eventually that person is going to either kill you or someone else. You can go look up experts who this is what they are saying. And I agree. So, you know, if if you ever get into a relationship where someone chokes you, and it's not something that you agreed on or wanted or consented to, I'm not trying to kink shame. Um, how are you considered doing a collab with Emily D. Baker? I mean, if they reached out to me, I wouldn't. Um, that would be cool. That would be interesting. It'd be interesting to talk with a lawyer where I'm not like in uniform. Yes, it is. Choking someone. Choking someone is a very intimate way to be killed. I had to pause for a minute because if you go watch the first episode on here, one of my girlfriends was choked to death. So yeah, it is not something that should be taken lightly, and there's usually an escalation. And once a person has started choking someone, that means eventually someone's going to die. They're going to kill someone, usually by choking. I mean, that's why I started making these videos, because the way Addie Hall was talked about, like she was dragged through the posthumous mud and victim shamed and victim blamed, and she was vilified and blamed for her own murder, which was bullshit. Sure, I mean, I love Emily's. I'm almost always on Emily's live streams. Um, but the chat is so insane that there's so many people in her chat that it's just impossible for me to keep up. Addie died. Oh Lord, that was not long after Katrina. And I met her. Like I only knew her for I don't even know how long, like 2 or 3 months. It wasn't very long, but I saw her like every day, and it was, she was one of the few women in the city, and you know, it is, but I'm kind of almost using making these videos as kind of a therapeutic, like cathartic thing, and I'm also trying to do some good with it, kind of in memory of her and other friends that I've had who were murdered in domestic violence. And I'm a survivor myself, so it's, yeah. I mean, a lot of the time, um, choking is a lot of the time people who will choke another person, they know that person on some level. Not always, but like quite often. Yes, I'd feel weird about reaching out to Emily. She's probably got like a ridiculous number of content creators reaching out to her. I'm like, I'm not trying to be weird. I felt bad for talking on Charlotte's chat, but I was like, dude, I really desperately need some socialization right now. As like women and whatnot, and like so. Yeah, Charlotte's. I like her chat. She Kier Snyder goes on there quite a bit, and I like her videos too. So it's kind of neat to see, Right, right. I mean, I have to think about it. I might maybe suggest something, but I have a feeling she's tremendously busy too. I mean, she's got a lot going on. Um, I don't know. I'm very new on this platform, and I think I have 48 subscribers. What's really creeping me out though is that I've been noticing the past week or so, it seems like that KJ woman, I'm just going to say this, and I know it might sound weird, but y'all can watch the videos for yourself and check me if I'm wrong. Like, let me know if I'm wrong. But it seems like she has been saying things like after I post a video, she'll start saying things that I said in a video. And I know that might sound weird, but in the last live stream I did, I said something about that KJ was parroting what other people were saying, like, and what I had said, because I did videos on how to build a case against a stalker. And I used a lot of the terminology that you use with that. And I was saying that KJ is not being stalked. She is, yeah, yeah. Um, so, so then she starts parroting things that I had said about parroting and like all this other stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Am I nuts? Okay, so like I cannot prove any of this. I'm just saying that it just seemed weird. It just seemed weird to me. I'm like, that, I don't know. I don't know. But then I had this guilt thing happening. I'm like, I did not make these videos for someone to do self or false victimization. I didn't make the videos for victims of stalkers to help to teach them how to build their cases for someone to use against people in a bad way. Yeah, it is a kind of manipulation, especially if I just, bleh, I don't understand. Yes, hold on, I'm pinning that up here because, and somebody had sent me a message and was like, do you see that she's saying the things that you say in your video? And I'm like, it was, wait, but I need like 100 people. I don't know. I need a bunch of people to tell me if I'm just being sensitive, but I don't think I am. I'm not normally sensitive like that. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? It was just a big, and I saw on Charlotte's last video when she's talking about people parroting her and stuff, and I'm like, wait, what? Wait, I need to go watch that video again. I need to go watch my own video again to make sure and understand what the fuck is happening right now. It's weird. don't know. If you're here, KJ, you're not being stalked. I build cases against stalkers as a hobby. I despise stalkers. You're not being stalked. People are telling you that your behavior is unacceptable, that you need to stop stalking people. You stalked Tati Westbrook and others. That is stalking. Jesus. Are you kidding? I wrote a comment one time about what is expected from an investigative journalist. She used parts of it in one of her videos. Wow. Baby girl thinks that's funny. Did she give you credit? Did she, give you a shout out or anything? 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 No, I'm not surprised either. And I'm not taking those videos down. And I'm going to keep on making videos for people who are victims of stalking. And I'm going to keep on making videos for, victims of domestic violence and all of that. I'm going to keep on. I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep on doing it. So, oh Lord. Why am I not surprised? I don't think she has an actual original bone in her body, really, because I know that a lot of the so-called sources, from what I'm told, this is what I'm told, but a lot of her so-called sources are like TMZ or worse, and that's not really a source. Like, and I'm also told that a lot of her scoops or whatever are made up. I don't I don't have proof of that. I'm not saying that that is actual fact. That is what is out there. But I do know that as a queer person, trying to out someone is just a huge no-no. And then faking a hate crime, things are already hard enough for queer people. Why you gotta make things harder is my question. For attention, so you can have a pity party and cry and act like Can you imagine being her neighbor? I I can't imagine. But I'm wondering what'll happen if her neighbors really if they really find out. She, she has. There are so many different ways that more lawsuits could come at her. When she accused of messing with her pride flag, cannot imagine. But she didn't just accuse him of messing with her pride flag. She accused him of throwing stones at her or her dogs or her son. Or it just changes. The stories change. So I don't know. Someone. Supposedly they were throwing stones at someone and all this other stuff and threatening to kill her, but then she changes it to yo and slurs. I used to report for a living. There's no way she has legitimate sources. No, no. I really wanted to be an investigative journalist. That was my goal in life. Um, in my teens. No, she's not. That's not what investigative journalism is. That's just not. like Investigative journalists don't sit there and say, "Oh, well, her dad might be in the mafia." Based on what? Wait, what? Yeah, always. I don't know. That's what I mean by, and this is all abuse. Everything that she's doing, that's abuse. She's abusive, and most abusers do not look at themselves. There's no self introspection. There's no going to therapy and taking it seriously and actually doing the work to fix yourself. You know, only she's the only person who can fix herself. Only she can fix herself. Nobody else can do it. But she won't even face the fact that there's a problem. She won't even really acknowledge it. She'll acknowledge it for a second and then be like, no, there's nothing wrong with me. Okay. Okay, but isn't there a defamation lawsuit that's pretty serious? And there are people out there talking about criminal charges, and they might actually. Doxing people is illegal. And it doesn't matter if you did it accidentally because you didn't do it accidentally. Also, when she does have interviews, she always reads them off her phone, saying it was done by text. What? Okay, I didn't know that one. I what? The hell? That's okay. All right. Is that a new interview technique that I didn't know about? I'm not understanding. I wouldn't do an interview that way. I don't think, unless like if somebody wanted to stay remain anonymous, but even then you can use their picture or a picture icon or something and disguise their voice. Right on, man. Oh Lord. I don't know. I might go in a minute because it's like 2 hours now. I wasn't expecting to be on here for 2 hours. I didn't expect anyone to come on here really. It's kind of a milestone. 6 people. That's cool. I'm honestly surprised she doesn't have more than one lawsuit for defamation. She accuses so many people of crimes. Yes. Yes, indeed. That is true. Um, I mean, what she did to Leslie Bass was wow. And during a time when they had a child pass away in their family, Jesus. Just, I mean, where I'm originally from, I've seen people be shady like that and mean to someone and end up in the hospital. You know, I'm not saying that anyone should ever do that to KJ. I'm just saying that that's the kind of thing that will push a person. You know, you don't mess with someone when they had a child die in their family. Hmm. I don't even understand behaving like that. So that's, I have morals. I have morals and rules and ethics on this channel. I will never be doing that to people. I just won't be doing that to people. I don't know. Call me funny. All right, well, I should probably end this because this is way longer than I thought it was going to be. And I don't know that I don't want to take up everyone's night, but I'm thankful for everyone who is on here, everyone who showed up and chatted. It was really good to have the social interaction. Um, I might wait for Leanne to come back so I can say goodbye. But I'm thankful for the likes. I'm thankful for the subs. Um, all of that. Yeah, I'm glad you did too. I think I've seen you on another chat or something, but the chats move so fast that, yeah. Well, I kind of been celebrating with baby girl all day. So it's nice to have like adult talk time. Oh, right on, right on. God, her chats are insane. There are so many people. It's hard to keep up with anything on there. But I love hearing her talk about legal documents. Like, I'm there for it. So, I don't know. I wish I could have worked in a courtroom with her. That would have been, I would have had to leave the courtroom to laugh my ass off, gather my shit, and then go back in court. So, yeah, I like Charlotte. She's very kind. Very kind. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know as much about like civil law. It's a little bit different. You know, I was in criminal courts, so dealt with a lot of like murders and the word stuff like that, the violent, whatever, and also weed. We need to just stop arresting people for weed. Just stop already. Baby girl's in there having a great time. Um, all right, y'all. So I should get going. Thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it. I might start doing these like once a day just so I can get some adult grown up time. When baby girl has her cartoon time, it's like the perfect merging of I can do adult grown up stuff for a minute. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Thank you for being here and for the likes and for everything. I keep saying that, but whatever. Um, all right, I'm gonna get going, y'all. Bye. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the happy birthdays.